put that idea into action. You know what I mean? Because an idea, just an idea, means nothing. Everyone has an idea. The ones that apply it and try it. So that's the combination is the heart for intuition and the triangle is for hustle, for action. And on a deeper level, it's for me, it's the Holy Trinity too. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You know what I mean? I'm not a Bible thumping dude, but I'm grateful that a lot of my experiences have been parallels with other Bible thumping people. They are like, oh, that's Leviticus 1:12. Well, that's great. Because I wasn't trying. But that's fantastic that now my actions are aligned with God. You know? And I think about that. I think about, as you know, what would Jesus Christ do? What would Jesus do? You know, I literally think about that all the time. Like, what would Jesus do? And so that was the evolution of that. And then Heart and Hustle, to me, it just flows off the tongue. It has a real, has a real nice kick to it.
Oh, it really does. And man, with like Tony, you know who Tony Robbins is?
Yeah. Changed my life.
There you go.
Yeah, changed my life.
So all these phenomenal speakers, right, that have decades in the industry, every single thing that they say, they touch on, just like the gentleman that you mentioned, you can find it in the Bible. Because that comes from it. Maybe like they don't come from it. It's just like the pastor said, in order to understand the word, you must first understand the words because it goes back to Latin root and all that.
Yeah.
And like frankly, most people are not. Like the majority of people will not do that, right? But if you can find somebody like yourself, put it out in plain English, right? Break it down to the tempo that somebody can actually digest and process it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right? It's being taught a little differently, but it's the same message. Right? And the important part is to get the message across.
Yeah.
Like, that's the important part, right? So, that was a huge thing. It's kind of like, you're right from the Bible.
Which is, that's the dynamic between a parent and a child. Mom, what do you know about life? What do you know about life? And then your neighbor comes and tells you the same exact thing. Oh, that guy is smart.
Yeah.
That guy's a smart guy. And that's one of the main reasons that I am the way I am. Is because you've heard this a million times. I might say it in a way that makes you, I just plant the seed and it makes you say, okay. And that's happened to me a million times. Where someone said something, interesting. And then it changes my life, But it's because I heard it from this person and not this person, Actually, if I may, I have one story specific to that, and that was, I may have had at that point 2 or 3 little things that happened, but this one really solidified, bro, you have to be this person. Is, I get a haircut once a week. And and my barber, well, back in the day, now I mean, so my barber, he it's crispy, bro, it's crispy. And so my barber, he is a Bible thumping dude, polos and dresses. I mean, today I dressed up for you, bro. I appreciate you. Made look bad. Stuff I gave up, bro. That stuff I gave up. But that day, I had a hoodie on and some jeans and some Air Maxes, so it looked a little more hood that day. And I was getting my hair cut, and there was my barber is more preppy looking, and there was 3 cholitos. I don't know why they were there, because they had the same haircut that you have. So, I don't even know this was in the barbershop right now. But I don't know if you've heard the story of the slave master and the 3 slaves, and he gives one slave 1 gold talent, gives another slave 3 gold talents, and then the other slave 5 gold talents, and then he rewards the slave with the 5 gold talents because he multiplied it, and he punishes the slave with 1 gold talent because he only hit it.
Right.
And so I'm sure you know that story. So my barber was trying to share that story with the cholitos, and I could see in their face like, man, shut the fuck up. I ain't trying to hear this shit, They shut the, I could just see it. They didn't say it, but you could see it, Yeah. And in that moment, I was like, nah, bro, what it means is like this fool came and he doubled up on the fake guy, boo boo, and God blessed the fool that flipped it, and he punished the fool that just sat on the chip, you know? And I saw the moment that all three of them lit up.
Yeah.
Like, what, dog? That's a Federman story, dog. I like it. Oh, homie, that's Federman right there. And since that moment, I just thought, damn, bro. One could, this is recently, in the last 2 years, I'm sure we've all heard of a wolf dressed in sheep's clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I now consider myself a sheep dressed in wolf's clothes because I'm tattooed and I can talk this way and I carry myself a certain way. I feel like I was made to be able to take the word to where the Bible thumping dudes, they ain't gonna even get into that neighborhood. But I'm able to talk to the hookers and the hoes and the pimps and the hustlers in a way that they can relate to. Not that I'm gonna change anybody. Then again, just dropping seeds, bro. Dropping seeds, and I'll let God do the rest. And so I really feel that was one of those things that really was an indicator to me to take this a little more seriously, be more responsible with taking more action, and putting forth the effort to want to help. Because too many times we see something where we could help, and we talk ourselves out of it. Man, I ain't like that. Go help this fool. I'm like, bro, man, help me. This is a plea for me. I'm one of the knuckleheads. I'm sure a lot of people prayed for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a lot of people prayed for me because I was not this person. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful that some people took just 1% more to like, hey, bro, you'll be all right. Even so, sometimes I'll be driving, I'll just give people a thumbs up. It flips them, bro. It just, it's like, I'm like, and they're like, and it, you know, it's just those little things. I like doing little things like that make people smile, or because you never know. You never know what that person's going through, and you could be that one person that does something that at the end of that day, that person could be having a shitty ass life, and then they think back to what you did, and it gives them a little bit of hope. Lets them know, like, man, not all society's fucked up. It's not all bad, you know. And so, you know, I really carry this responsibility now to try to shine my light, not in a loud way, you know, not in a loud way, but just help where I can, you know.
It shows that you're being a good steward of your kids, man.
Amen.
Yeah, it really does. And I'll share real quick, but because about 2 weeks ago, I come through the lady, and she looked like she needed to turn that frown upside down. You know? It's like, hey, how we doing? How we doing? A bad day. Jesus Christ, a bad day. We ain't even in the afternoon yet, bro. You know. And I told her, oh, well, look, I'm sorry to hear that. I said, hey, you mind if I share something real quick? And she said, yeah. And I'm like, well, listen, I used to feel the same way. But, you know, a great gentleman told me once, he said, hey, Chris, there's no such thing as a bad day. And I told her, I looked at him, must be nice, right?
Yeah.
But then he told me, there's only bad moments. We choose to make it a bad day. And then she I've never seen it that way. I'm like, man, neither have I, man, but I hope that it brings a different perception on it like it did for me. She's like, thank you.
Yeah.
And boom, she had a little frown went
Yeah.
upside down a little more, you know, and then she started smiling. And I'm like, bro, it's those little simple things, you know, because like when we were talking last time, I was like, man, we are most of how those we used to be.
Amen.
So everything that we go through, it's preparation for what God has in store for us. Either for us or for us to steward such as you're doing for others.
Amen.
Because it's hard for somebody that was just proper since elementary school to relate, right? To people that you know don't have what society considers a proper, rough around the edges, right? And this is call it how people see it. Like you grew up in the hood, bro, and then now you learn how to be professional, a little more well mannered, right?
Yeah.
You can always relate to people who are more affluent and people who are not so affluent financially, right? Same example that you gave in the barbershop. But for people that just grew up kind of proper all the time, it's extremely hard for them to relate and touch bases
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
people who don't have a vocabulary as expanded as theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, pray for them too.
Yeah.
Pray for them too. I always pray when I see someone with a great car or whatever thing. I always pray for them to have more. And I think subconsciously I do that in hopes that if and when I am that person, other people are praying for me. Yeah, I mean, so, because usually we'll see someone with a great car or something, and it's probably some drug.
That was the thing.
You have a negative,
Yeah.
and low key, one of the reasons, because I've also not only fear of failure, but fear of success, and that's one of the reasons fear of success is because you're kind of hating, and subconsciously you're not successful because you don't want to be the person that people are hating on. So you'll stop yourself from being successful. You'll sabotage some of your own opportunities. And again, I share this because I sabotaged myself 10, 15 years. Again, I'm really similar to what it's only is, And that's why. So I do a lot of trying to heal. Heal. I'm doing a lot of healing, and it's a work in progress, But it's one of those things that and I'm sure I'm still doing a lot of bad programming that I have to work through. But I'm grateful now that at least I can see it. I can see where I need to make the corrections,
Yeah. Do you ever get the best compliment ever, which is, "Hey man, you changed"?
Yeah, got a few times.
Whenever you tap into, some folks that used to hang with me, you changed. Thanks, bro. I'm supposed to.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, but so talking about vocabulary, I know that you have a book coming out, but you also have a book out already, right?
Yeah.
Can you give us a little background on the first book that you wrote?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Actually, how did it come about? Because who just wakes up and says, "Hey, man,
Nobody.
Yeah.
Not unless you came with the proper vocabulary, I wasn't that guy, I love seminars, bro. I love seminars, health, success. I love it because you're in that energy, you're in an environment, and you're around a group of other people that want to be successful. So what a great place to be. So definitely go to as many seminars as you can. And at a certain point you learn, it's the same, it's like the same 80% of the stuff. But I still keep going because there's always that 10%. There's always that little nugget that I haven't heard before. And so I want to say, that's a long time, maybe like 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, I went to a seminar. He's pretty. He's out there in the public, in the speaker scene. Aaron, I forget his last name, but I'm sure people could Google him. And that day he brought up. There's two parts to the story. I'll share the second one after. He brought a gold medalist out with us. Actually, I'll share that story first because I think that's going to bring a lot of value to your people. And one of the things that Aaron said before he let the other gentleman talk, and that really stuck with me. He said everyone should write a book. Everyone has something to say. They just need to sit there long enough to structure it in a way that people want to receive that information. And that really struck a chord, bro. Really struck a chord. I mean, I started writing that day, and I haven't stopped writing since. And and then let me jump to the gold medalist. So the gold medalist was one of the best track stars in the country, but he would always come shy of trying out for the Olympics. And this is the value of getting around winners and getting around the people that have done what you're trying to do. So all the coaches, all the best coaches, the best trainers, and he could just barely would hit the mark to get into the Olympics. And he finally went to one coach, and that coach somewhere in the Midwest gets off the plane. All right, bro, drop your bags. Let me see you run. Runs for that coach, tells him, when you run, you kick your foot out a little bit. Correct that. And that was the thing that took him to be a gold medalist. And I was like, damn. So at the very top, it's not huge changes. It's very little changes. So going back to your question, I started writing. I wrote non-stop for like 4 or 5 years, and I ended up with a hefty bag of paper. It was like 11 pounds of paper. After 4 years of writing, I mean, I would write on sticky notes, menus, napkins. It all. So I wrote for like 4 years. It took me about a year to trim that pile down into like a pound of paper. Still a stack of about that big. It was a pretty heavy stack. And then that ended up being the book. And the book is called it's got a main title, a subtitle, and a tagline, which is what Aaron said. Aaron said you have to have a main title, a subtitle, and a tagline. And the book is called It's a Young Human's Guide: How to Live a Kick-Ass Life. This book will save you 30 years of bullshit. And it ended up not becoming a book. It ended up being the owner's manual to being a happy, healthy, abundant human being. Had nothing to do with finances, and it's all the stuff that comes to who you are before you commit to a job, a wife, a career, to all these responsibilities that society puts on you. Is all the stuff that you should have done for yourself as a human, as a happy, healthy, abundant human. And then you go from there. So that was the first book that I remember. It's a Young Human's Guide: How to Live a Kick-Ass Life. This book will save you 30 years of bullshit. And so I'm very, very happy with that. It took me, like I said, it took me about 7 years. That one took me about 7 years to write altogether. It's getting, you gotta check for your grammar and everything. Yeah. And I'm sure everyone knows who Robert Kiyosaki is in our group. And I remember with Rich Dad Poor Dad, I did the audiobook, and he had an interview in Singapore with a young lady, and the young lady was correcting, like, oh, you didn't have, this is wrong, and this is not the way you structure a book. And he stopped her in that moment and said, no, I'm not a best writing author, I'm a best selling author. That's, to me, because I've had a lot of intellectuals look at it and start correcting. I'm like, no, I cannot write a book, a scholastic thing that's going to end up in a university. I'm writing like tangible, real information that just read it, put it into action, and that's going to change your life, And so that's the first book. The second book is my first book in Spanish, which is Sin Miedo al Éxito con las Pilas Puestas, which, I'm going to try to package the same energy, but now for what I'm making, try to bless them. I'm not going to say that I'm going to go super crazy, but it's one of those things that I keep in mind, and like my work was going to speak for me 100 years after I'm gone. And that's the value of this podcast, these videos, is all this work. You don't know how far your words are going to go, even after you're gone. You know what I mean? So we're building this really great body of work. So I'm going to pray for you that all the right people find your words. I'm so grateful that I got to meet you, Ro.
Likewise, bro.
I'm super grateful that I got to meet you. And what you said the other day about you're most qualified to help the person who you used to be. Man, that one, punched me in my heart, bro. That encouraged me to go a little harder with what I'm doing, Yeah. So I'm really,
Because I always keep that, man, in front of my head, because, many times, man, when you're coaching someone or you're leading someone on, like, damn, bro, they have to lead, And but I grew up in the belief that you could beat some sense into someone and out of someone you believe. It's not the most effective in the long run, but something's got to get done.
Sometimes. I mean, I'm the type of person that does need to get beat over the head a little bit. And again, there's a lot of us out there, bro.
Yeah.
But it's pray for the knuckleheads.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me. I don't do better because I don't know better. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that I really, through my evolution, figured out, that I didn't do better because I didn't know better. Mm-hmm. Not that I didn't know, but inside, I didn't know that I could be one of those people that does good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There was a lot of darkness in me that wouldn't allow me to see myself as a good person. there's a lot of shame, and you know, you're a lot of like negativity, and then you surround yourself with a group of people that are on the same vibe, and oh, you're in the darkness. And so it's not that I didn't know word for word, because you know, all your teachers say this shit, you know, but I didn't know that was possible for me, because no one ever, you know, no one ever sat down and said, well, what's going on, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one ever sat me down and let me unload some of the weight that I was carrying within me. And, you know, as time moved on, I've understood that was part of the process. So I've gone back again through some healing and some fixing and some understanding. Man, it's a scary journey, but I'm grateful that I did it, and I'm grateful that I continue to do it. And I challenge your listeners, anybody who's going to come across this, to go somewhere quiet and just see what comes up. Don't judge it.
Yeah.
Just see what comes up. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is what it is. You know? And I think that's why we have such a consumer society, is because we're trying to cover that stuff that's bubbling up within us with more stuff, so we don't have to focus. But that's where the magic is. That's where the goal is. And that's where true growth comes from, is when you sit down to start seeing the stuff that starts bubbling up for you.
Yeah.
Hey man, forgive yourself. You didn't know any better. You know what I mean? You're to the point now where now you understand, okay. And bro, I ain't perfect. I'm sure I'm still gonna make mistakes, you know? So I hope I share this with you and the people, to give you and others permission to forgive yourself, to heal, to know that, alright, I did it. I'm not that person anymore. Stop. To myself, stop beating myself over the head, bro. Like, I understand that I messed up, but now I'm trying to correct and do better.
We punish ourselves harder than society does, really. And man, a great friend of mine, literally since elementary school, one of my best friends, bro. He told me once, it was years back, early 20s. He was like, hey, you can't be by yourself, bro. And I was like, nah, what else do this? I was like, nah. But you can't be by yourself. And you know, it hit me, bro, because I couldn't.
A lot of people
I couldn't be alone with thoughts, bro. Because them thoughts were flowing and they nothing good, you know. Because when you grow up, you know, you didn't know no better in a lot of situations, and thoughts are there.
You just didn't know any better.
Yeah, no, and I didn't intentionally develop a processing system to, one, deal with it, and two, like, filter. Like, what is this actually telling me? You know, like, and how can I use it? Can't fix the past, but how can I use it to make the present better and have a much better future, and not have a future that resembles the past?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And man, it was one more thing that you mentioned right there. It'll come back to me,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I know that you talked about when you were doing real estate, you had some mentors, right?
Yeah.
And,
Right, guys. Love those guys.
yeah, but for so many people that, you know, they might feel stuck where they're at, they don't really have the best guidance at home or their surroundings. Like, how can someone go find a mentor? And two, what should you look for in a mentor?
So I would say you have to, and this is what I include in the book, it's who you are as a person, who you want to be, and then it's your health, and then it's your relationships with your family, relationship with God, and then your relationship with your finances. So it's those like 5 or 6 categories that now you gotta go find a mentor for each one. And you know, start small. Start honestly, bro, all the old people you have around you are great resources. Go knock on some doors. Be vulnerable. Hey man, I'm a young guy. I don't really know what I'm doing. I need a little bit of help. Is there any way I could bounce these ideas off of you, and maybe you can give me some feedback? And they know people that you don't know. You know what I mean? I think when you're young, a lot of a big advantage that you have, you know, even me, because you know, I talk to dudes that are 8 and they like me because they see themselves in me, and that just the fact that you took the step to ask is an indicator to that person that this kid's got something. I'm gonna help this kid out. I've gotten thrown deals just because I asked. You know what I mean? And so I would say that's the first. Well, let me take even a step back. The very first thing that you can do is to want to find a mentor. Is to have a real deep want. Man, you know, you can't be like, man, I hope I get one, and then nah, bro, you don't really want it. You know what I mean? If it's an inconvenience for you to go out there and do the work, then you ain't gonna get it, bro. You don't really want it. And unfortunately, when things ain't that, things are kind of bad, you don't develop that want. You develop that want when shit sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't going. That's the only reason I'm an entrepreneur, bro, and a business owner is because I can't have a boss. I can't have someone tell me what to do, when to show up, especially people that I don't respect or admire. I can't be like, bro, who are you? You know what I mean? They show me your qualifications, you know? So that's the first step, is to develop a real deep want to get ahead. And then from there is a lot of door knocking, you know? Try a lot of things, fail at a million things. The worst that can happen is you fail. And you get up tomorrow, you do it again. You're not gonna get your arms cut off. You're not gonna lose a limb. No one's gonna, well, you know, don't put yourself in any dumb situations,
Right.
but no one's gonna take your life. You're just gonna fail, you're gonna feel a little silly.
Mm-hmm.
But even feeling a little silly through failure starts building that callus. You know what I mean? One thing about success, I was told, is it's like digging for gold. You gotta flip through a lot of mud before you find that gold nugget. You can't just scoop twice and oh man, where's my mountain of gold now, bro? You gotta sit there, you know, and you're gonna flip through, and it's the same. You're gonna knock on a lot of doors. You're gonna talk to a lot of people. And the good thing about talking to people is everybody has something, has a little pearl of wisdom that they could bless you with. You know, and it's the accumulation of these little pearls that allow you to build and then I would say the second thing is make it a collaboration between you and God. Share your goals with God. Bring him into the hustle. You know what I mean? Bring him into the business. Sit down with him and write your notes out. That's another thing. You gotta write. Okay, what the magic is in consciousness and a piece of paper. That's where the magic is. Because once you write it down, now it's turned into a real thing. Yeah, now you can hold the thing. It's real now. It's not an idea stuck in your head. You know? And then that man, I'll show you. I got a little piece of paper that I've had written down for 12 years. And I carry that in my wallet, bro. And that's my master list of my goals. And like I'd say out of the 12, like I got like 6 or 7 are checked off. These are major goals, like major goals. And now that thing's falling apart, bro. It looks like a Declaration of Independence for this shit. It's bad, but and you can the bottom half is all you can. I was like, what goal was that? Dude, I don't even remember what goal that was, you know. But that's, you know, writing stuff down, keeping notes of it. When it comes to writing, write. That means go to Walmart and get a cheap little whiteboard, sticky notes, notepads, write on your arm, Google Docs, Google Calendar. One thing I like to share with people, I think I shared this with you last time, is the mind is an antenna. It's a receiver to receive the information, but it's not a filing cabinet. I ended up in the hospital because I was trying to keep everything up here. I didn't understand that the mind is a receiver. Writing it down, you're downloading the information to open up the hard drive space in order to continue to receive the new information. You know, and so that's one thing that's super powerful, is stop trying to store. Because all the ideas that you have in your head now is stuff from 2 years ago. And if you don't open a new space, 2 years from now is gonna look like today. So as soon as you start downloading and organizing and make sure, you write it down, Google Docs, make your notes, make your diagrams, make your to-dos. And then the other thing also, real quick, is make sure to put a little square next to create a checklist. Humans love checklists. If you make a checklist and you don't lose that checklist, a year later, 80% of that checklist will be checked off naturally. And so that's, I would say, write what are the things that you hope to get out of it, and then, who would be in every category, who are the 5 people that you think would be the best examples for you to go. And then you go and you show them your list, or you ask them a question, and you ask them, hey, how, if you were me, how would you do it? You know what I mean? And then they might, God willing, each one of those 5 just gave you 5 new ideas. But this is where most people aren't, because now they're gonna give you feedback on stuff you gotta go do.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable situations you gotta go put yourself in. Responsibilities that you have to add on. Things that you're doing that they're gonna say stop, that you don't wanna stop. You know what I mean? So that's where the work is. And, don't feel discouraged if you don't get it at first. I got stuff that's taken me 15 years to do. But I'm glad that I stuck with it long enough, because the 15 years passed anyways. You know what I mean? And now I got a sick ass classic car collection, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just sit with it long enough, and eventually, yeah. So I would say that, I would say that.
That whole part blew me away, because see, most people they'll take it to where, hey, write things down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even for myself, I started writing down for 23 days straight, and I'm still on it. What do I want?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just writing it down every day. What do I want? And it's like, if it was so many days, the things that keep on repeating is what you probably actually truly want, and that's what you should focus on.
So every day you create that list again.
Yeah.
Ah.
And it's not the same, but now I'm like in week 2,
Nice.
and I'm like, oh snap, like, that's what I actually want.
Yeah.
So and exactly when you put it in pen and paper, bro, it's downloading and you're creating clarity. But that part about creating space, damn. But the way that you took it a whole nother level for me, I haven't heard many people say this. It's, hey, those goals that you have written down, go tap in with 5 other people and show it to them.
At least.
Right.
I would say 30 people.
Yeah.
But 5 is the bare minimum.
And I would add to that is to show it to the people that are closest to those goals, not closest to you.
Yeah.
Because that was a big mistake on my time. Like, I'm over here getting maintenance girls.
We should talk about that a little bit,
Yeah, because I used to ask for opinions and advice from people closest to me. And it didn't mean no harm.
No, well, they mean the best.
Yeah.
But they're speaking from what they can do and their abilities.
Correct.
And they're trying to protect you from failure.
Yeah.
Like, oh, nah, bro, why are you trying to do that shit?
Yeah.
But,
bro.
yeah, you need to cut you off.
No, bro. You're only adding on, man.
Yeah.
I'm cutting out. But that thing was huge, bro.
Yeah.
That thing was huge.
That's
and
amazing.
I hope that people will actually go back and listen to that part.
Yeah.
Because the mentorship, the writing it down, and then last but not least, probably one of the most important things is executing it.
Yeah.
That's the whole trinity right
Amen.
there.
Amen. So, the most important part is bringing God into it. Because he's going to be the one that drops the opportunities. And stop being frustrated, bro. What's yours is yours. It's already yours. God wants you to have it. You're the one that keeps telling you. And what ain't for you, it was never for you. So if you lost a deal or if you missed an opportunity, then maybe that deal wasn't for you to begin with. You know what I mean? What's meant for you is meant for you. You know what I mean? And in Spanish, I'm sure cuando te toca, aunque te quites.
Yeah.
Y cuando no te toca, aunque te pongas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for the English speakers is when it's meant for you, even if you get out of the way. And what's not meant for you, even if you're in the way, you ain't gonna get it. It hits a little nicer in Spanish. But
Oh, yeah, yeah. En español todo pega un poquito más duro.
Sí, un poquito más sabor.
Yeah, bro.
Entonces, sazón.
And you mentioned like it took you 15 years for one of your goals, right?
Many years.
Many years. And the one thing is that all work works. It's just sometimes it must work on you before it works for you.
Mhm.
But most people do not let it work on them long enough for it to work for them.
Yeah. One thing I have to say to that is I've gotten, last 10 years I've gotten into cooking, and a lot of my family members are really great cooks. I have a cousin that's about to start a catering company, and he's, he has businesses that are producing a lot of money. His passion is cooking and barbacoa, and so he started a catering company. And one thing I figured out from my aunt, para hacer un caldo, a real beautiful soup, is you start in the morning with a 5-gallon pot, big fat pot, and you fill that with your water and your herbs and the essence and the chicken and all the vegetables, and you let that on a slow, low simmer, and you let that sit there all day until it evaporates and all the stuff that you added simmers down to the essence, and all that little bit that's left, that's for the flavors. So I liken that to, like, you gotta let the meat sit. You gotta sit there and marinate. Sometimes it looks like you're not doing anything. It looks like the meat not doing anything, but it's getting that flavor. You're getting that marinade. That's where the sauce, you know what I mean? That's where you can put the sauce on the plate, That's that simmering time is what allows you, like, damn, that was delicious. Those meals that really hit is because there was a lot of love into it, and it takes time. And that was, likening it to what we're talking about is things take time, man. Things take time, and it's better that they do, because you're probably not ready to get them right now anyways, because if you get them, you're probably gonna fumble it. Because you don't have that maturity,
That's huge.
So let the meat simmer, for a little bit, get that little flavor. And you're gonna be glad that you waited a little bit longer. And for some, if someone's listening to you, they're 14, 17, 19, they ain't ready for success. Go get scratched up. Go pay your dues. Go get into trouble. Go pay your dues and get scratched up a little bit. Because you ain't ready for success. You're too young. And go through that process, and you're gonna be grateful that you did.
Yeah, because I tell people, I'm like, man, I like doing business with people that have a few scars.
Yeah.
Because if they don't have no scars, and they get the first scar with you, know how they're gonna react.
Yeah.
Because they don't even know. You feel me? They don't even know, man.
They've never had that experience.
Yeah, bro.
And it looks cool. I always wanted a scar like that. I always wanted a cool. I wanted a cool. Like, yeah, that looks cool right there.
Your conversation is being like that.
I haven't got an eye patch, bro. I might still get one. Nah, it's good. With the Hard Hustle logo. Yeah, I'm getting it.
But you gotta bling it out. You gotta bling it out.
Yeah, I'm fucking bling it out there.
Hey, but where can people get your books at? You have them on Amazon or?
So I haven't published yet up to the point. What I'm gonna do, because of what we're going through right now, which again, thank you for inviting me on the podcast, bro, is I'm gonna double up, and if you would allow me to go through the process, and it will be on Amazon by the time this podcast goes up.
Okay. Yeah.
So they can, I'll double up, make the man see this is again. Now I didn't anticipate it, but now I gotta make it happen. I'm gonna go through the process. Right now I'm in talks to print my first 500.
Okay.
But that might be 2 or 3 months. But if I go through the process, I can have people down because those are physical copies. But I will do my best and to get them on Amazon so people can read them online. And then I'll send you the link.
Okay.
And that way all your people have access to that.
Yeah, because I want them to be able to have these golden nuggets that you're dropping right here, but
That would be
I
nice.
could only imagine from your first book everything that you poured into it, because
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long process.
Yeah.
Sorry, with 11 pounds of paper, for people that don't know, I mean, 11 pounds of paper, man, it's it's a lot.
It's
bro.
a black hefty bag.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
black hefty bag.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a black hefty bag.
And then to condense that to the way that you did it, man, there's so much value in here.
Yeah.
You know that I definitely want to pick that up. So.
Yeah. I mean, it was 4 years of writing.
Yeah.
And then again, I trimmed 4 years of writing, I trimmed like 80–90% of it, and I was still left with a pound of paper.
Yeah.
That's 2 reams of paper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you buy the ream at Office Depot or whatever, it's like a ream and a half of paper. And that was the juicy, that was the flavor. That's what mostly ended up making it into the book. I do have a YouTube channel
Oh, okay.
where it's, you know, so again, it is a book, but it's not a book. It's the owner's manual. So you don't have to read it in order. It's a resource where if you're going through this thing, you can go to that chapter or to that. I call them reports. So you can go to that report. And one thing I am going to add, which I haven't, but it's going to be every report is going to come with a video, which adds on just a little bit more, and now you get a visual aspect to that report. And so if you guys wanted to go on YouTube, at Heart and Hustle Studios on YouTube, and they can find a lot of it's a lot of, you know, similar knowledge. The book is packaged in the book, and the videos are packaged as you know, it's my YouTube channel. It's the Institute for Heart and Hustle. My goal there, this is one of those goals that I'm nowhere near, but it's the Institute for Heart and Hustle, which eventually I want to do legitimate institute, university level, kind of like not a trade school, but where you can go and we have people that are in different industries, and I can invite different teachers, you know, carpenters, accountants, attorneys, metal workers, car fabricators, painters, and, you know, everyone has a gift, and everyone just needs a way to turn that gift into a money-making opportunity for themselves. And so that's my goal, you know. But I started with a free YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at least in the title, it's the Institute for Heart and Hustle. And this is, you know, this would be the 101 of. So this is Intro to Heart and Hustle is the book.
So for the people that are just gonna listen to it in audio, is it Heart, letter N, Hustle, or Heart N?
It's Heart, H-E-A-R-T, the letter N, Hustle, H-U-S-T-L-E, and then Studios, S-T-U-D-I-O-S, at on YouTube, at Heart and Hustle Studios on YouTube.
Ooh.
Also Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, but you know, a lot of my attention is going to YouTube to build that foundation. I'm sure eventually I'll do a 501c3 where it's a nonprofit. I mean, I already do giveaways, I do scholarships, I do grants, I do a lot of mentoring. I've given away a couple iPads. And, yeah, I'm trying to, because I'm an artist, I have a soft spot for artists, I'm trying to get like colors. If anybody out there wants to donate, we want to take colors, coloring books, backpacks, you know, the other people that are, you know, struggling a little bit, help them out, you know. So yeah, thank you for allowing me to get that out there.
Oh, of course, and we'll have everything linked, you know, in the description, so that they can go directly to it. But I mean, anything else that you have in the foreseeable future that you want people to tap into?
I would say that's the main project and the main goal is getting that to mature. You know, I've been working on it for a while now, and it's given me some real beautiful results. But we barely get warmed up. You know, so we still got it's still on the hot plate right now, still simmering and getting that flavor. So the best is yet to come, and the way I like to say it is, Heart and Hustle, we are Nike for dreamers. So, you know, one day Nike and I, we're going to be at the same level as far as having that impact around the world, you know.
Maybe a little collab too.
Amen.
Well, good.
I'll talk to God about that, see what he thinks.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
So guys, make sure to go and check out everything that Christian has going on. You guys got a little taste of it, and I mean, we can sit here for 10 hours straight.
Amen.
But you guys can go and tap into all of his work and his artwork also. I see he has a little bit of his artwork on his Instagram.
Yeah.
I was browsing through it. And I said a little bit because, man, I'm pretty sure you don't put up every single piece that you've done.
Oh, it'd be too much.
Yeah,
It'd be too
it'd be
much.
too
But
much.
I'll do my best to add a little bit more of the artistic stuff.
Yeah. So guys, stay on the lookout for that beautiful book. Give it one more time.
It's the oh man, you gotta go back.
I got it.
It's a young human's guide how to live a kick-ass life. This book will save you 30 years of bullshit. And I wanted to say thank you to Chris and his wife and my beautiful girlfriend is here with us today and for joining us. And thank you guys for hanging out and allowing me to kind of share my experiences a little bit. Hopefully, it finds the right person at the right time. And I'm gonna pray for everyone that's been involved and that will be involved. That to lighten the load, lighten the burden, and open up some beautiful opportunities for your people, for yourself, for everyone here. And let's get out there and live a kick-ass life.
Amen to that. Thank you very much, bro.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Guys, have a blessed night.
All right.
Oh,
This night.
No, bro. That's good.
We
Oh,
put
man.
the time. Oh my God, it's nice, bro.
Oh, no way.
Dude,
Yeah, you guys did an hour 30.
No way.
I didn't even feel like.
Oh yeah, that was like 40 minutes.
That's what bro.
Yeah,
we
it goes by
could've-
so fast.
No way.
Like, we
that was amazing.
could have easily kept going, but I'm like, I already know that like you lose track of time. 'Cause you just locked in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I still
frankly.
was, oh, that's 38 minutes.
Because you were sitting down in that chair, that's like.
That's some comfortable chairs, bro.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Man, but I like, I've done a few, so I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, pretty sure. it's
Yeah, when I
past
went
an
like
hour.
this, I was like, dude, it's like an hour 10 already.
No way. Oh, that's wild.
Which, bro, everything was just straight valley.
I just didn't want to interrupt
Yeah.
because it was so good, but I was
Was
like,
it?
I gotta give him a sign.
Ah, bro.
That's amazing.
But
That's
listen,
awesome.
In the future, when you release the book, bro, if you're open to it, we'll have you back.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Hey, the book is out now,
Yeah.
and maybe it don't have to be an hour and a half. Just just
Yeah, yeah,
minutes.
yeah,
Two
yeah.
hours, 3 hours.
What's the usual time from interview to release on the podcast?
Frankly, we're flexible with it, but
Because the book. I'll say I thought we were going to talk about the Spanish book today, so I was totally unprepared. I thought this was going to be in Spanish. That's what I thought. So I was completely, which is fine. But the book is done. I'll send you guys a copy of the PDF. So I have a PDF that I can send out, but that's what I was. Yeah, I just gotta go.
It's fine. Well, I could do, was I'm trying to outsource the editing because
Yeah.
I do all editing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I have a few mini podcasts that I have to edit.
You're like, bro, I don't want to go through all this editing. No, I understand. Like that's how I feel because
But,
editing.
but
Wow.
if it's because you like more time, that's not a problem at all, bro.
No,
Yeah,
well,
I
it's
do
like-
have a lot more content that I need to push out
Yeah.
anyway. So if you need time is what you got. 'Cause
Yeah.
I still have a lot more to.
Well, I was just gonna say I'll double up on time as far as
Yeah.
like getting it on Amazon,
Yeah.
where people can purchase, or maybe even creating like a landing page or something.
Yeah,
for the
'cause,
book,
I mean,
where people can download it.
I just said Amazon because everybody knows it, but if you
Yeah.
have and even then, bro, if you get it faster, I can just make a little additional to the video and outro and be like, hey, by the way, the link is also in the description for this physical book. You can go ahead and purchase it here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's simple edits, bro.
I can come back. We could do that last.
Yeah.
I can come back and
Yeah, we can do that, but you just let me know, bro. If you need a month, 2 months, it's
I was
not an
thinking
issue.
like a week, bro.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Yeah, bro.
Well, yeah, if I get a month, that because so I don't know if I mentioned to you last time, but she does so she does tile, and I'm pushing her to do interior design. And now I'm kind of jumped in her with Urban, so now I'm looking for more clients for her. We found a couple already, so the schedule, even today, again, I apologize for not.
No, you're
yes.
good, you're good, you're good.
But it's just, thank God, gracias a Dios hay trabajo.
Sí,
And
yeah.
I'm grateful that the schedule's getting filled up and with really great clients, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would, 2 weeks to a month, that gives you a little time just to tighten up the loose ends,
Yeah.
figure out how to put it on Amazon, and even figure out how to, cause an audio book would be a great, I don't even know why I haven't thought about audio book side of it, you know?
Yeah.
What you said for the manual that you have, bro,
Yeah.
that was that's dope. Like you're gonna add videos to each section.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, that's it. Cause see, it's the have you heard of David Goggins?
Mhm.
Yeah. So have you listened to his audiobook?
Not the audio book, but I
Yeah.
have tuned into his sphere of.
It's like a
Yeah.
podcast, like
So,
so
yeah.
he reads his chapter,
Oh, it's it.
and then after the chapter they do like a debrief of the chapter, and they do it in a podcast manner.
Is there? I'm sure. Can you send that? Is
Yeah,
there where
yeah.
you can send a
Yeah.
link or something so I
Yeah.
can
Yeah, bro.
see, just to make sure that I have the correct one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's becoming more common too
To
because
do.
Robert
Oh, that's
Mhm.
interesting.
Robert does the same thing. So our mentor from church, he did a book too,
Wow.
and he goes